Welcome back to Advance Wars 2 Reboot Camp. We're one step closer to liberating Orange Star for good. We just have one more of the challenge exclusive missions, but it only has difficulty of 3 stars. C for all. And we are facing Sturm's second-in-command Hawke for the first time. Black Hole air patrols have slow troop reinforcements. Can Andy destroy all air and naval units to retake the skies? A letter from the enemy, okay then. That's not suspicious at all. And it's addressed to Andy, oh no. Please come to this place. No need to be afraid of a trap, as we only want to give you... Well, literally, that's what Sonya did. She literally just said new tools, and then he came like a lost puppy. Yeah, so this is one of those Back to the Future situations of, what are you, chicken? And already just zipping straight into the map. However, this is no ordinary black hole opponent. This is the one that you should definitely be scared of. Though, honestly, Lash is pretty terrifying sometimes. This is a map that I had been looking forward to playing for a while, actually. To me, it is one of the most interesting of the challenge exclusive maps.
I am Hawke, a black hole CO.
And we're not supposed to meet you until the Green Earth campaign. But on challenge mode, they're like, nope, let's throw Hawke at you right at Orange Star.
Yes.
Hawke is like one of the few people who takes Andy seriously. Kind of interesting, that. I have heard stories about your capabilities. I'm pretty sure Hawke just wants to confirm for himself whether the whole rumor about there being an Orange Star CO who doesn't know what an airport is actually true. That's the real reason.
Meet me in combat, and you will learn all you need.
Oh, I'm not actually sure who voices Hawke, but whoever it is, they're really good. That's also a good line from Andy there. We use only air and naval units. The first to lose every unit loses. In the words of the Kaguya-sama announcer. Oh, and no, don't be like, oh yeah, well then, I make this, obvious wager and then, you're just gonna, Oh yeah, they already have control of the region, so, like, honestly, they've got really not a whole lot to... Well, technically, they have nothing to gain here. So Hawke's being kind of dumb. I'll talk more about Hawke next turn, because this map is kind of cool. Basically, it's the Orange Star and the Black Hole logos, with a whole lot of reefs in between. And again, only air and naval units. We have pretty decent incomes, but there is a bit of a trick to this map, and that is, don't do anything on your first turn. Okay, so Hawke just got a battlecopter. That means that I can go ahead and... Which of my airports is closest? They're all equally... No, these two are slightly closer. I can now build a fighter. And I should probably save the rest of my funds until I see what he does next. But first, let's talk about Hawke, the appointed leader of Black Hole COs. He has a Machiavellian streak, that's definitely not in the original description, and will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. Hawke's units gain +10 to firepower with no downsides, so technically Hawke is kind of overpowered. He is always slightly above average on all of his units. Think of him as having an Advance Wars 1 power in effect at all times. And his own powers are pretty decent too. Black Wave, all enemy units suffer 1 HP of damage, or Hawke's units recover 1 HP. Black Storm is the same thing, but 2 HP and 2 damage. Global map damage is incredibly good. So, Hawke has some pretty strong powers, and he basically gets Hyper Repair at the same time. It's sort of like you're combining Hyper Repair with Squall. The downside, and what is probably Hawke's only weakness, is that his power meter is one of the longest in the game. 5 units for only Black Wave, and a total of 9 for Black Storm. And when you're playing a low-income standard match, you actually really do feel this. This is meant to be an intentional weakness of Hawke, according to Hutchie's shop. His powers are good though, so they are kind of worth it, and he does have that 10% firepower, so fan opinion on Hawke has really flip-flopped over the years. People used to think that he was broken, and then they thought he actually wasn't that good, and now, when they've realized how good map damage is, they're like, oh no, actually Hawke is still pretty broken. He's not the most broken in the game, but he's still pretty good. Just be aware of that meter. In the campaign mode, the thing about Hawke is that he tends to get his power a lot faster than he normally does, because the campaign loves giving Hawke high income and a lot of expensive pre-deployed units. So you will give him his powers very frequently, and he will be constantly damaging you and healing himself. It's very oppressive to go up against. But he doesn't do that nearly as much in a standard game. I'm almost wondering whether, like, I'm actually going to end up just winning in, like, a couple of turns, because, yeah, this mission's honestly not that bad at all. It's mostly just an introduction to Hawke, and, speaking of which, a lot of people don't like Hawke's theme in this game. Okay, he got his own fighter. I honestly like Hawke's Reboot Camp theme. I think it's pretty good, all things considered. Okay, just gotta stay out of range of that fighter. Like, the thing is, you would think that if he's building air units, you'd build cruisers, but cruisers kind of suck at countering air units, so really not gonna go for cruisers here, because cruisers suck against battlecopters for some reason, and battlecopters are literally half the price of cruisers. Okay, he did finally get a naval unit, which means I am going to have to invest in some bombers or some copters. Yeah, battlecopters are literally double the price of cruisers. If I build a naval unit of my own, it's going to get smacked by that battlecopter, so I'm going to go for this here. Hawke just calmly closes his eyes. And again, remember that every unit of power is worth 9,000. So, every expensive unit of Hawks that you destroy puts him closer and closer to doing massive damage to all of your units. So, okay, with that gone, I definitely need either some copters or some bombers. The problem is that he has a fighter that's in range of everything but this airport, so I'm just going to go for one battlecopter. The thing is that you never, like, the gimmick of this map is that you never, like, nobody ever gets any more or less income than they start with. Because you can't build infantry, so there's no way you can capture properties here. Like, I especially like that part of the song, because it sounds a little different to how it did in the original, but still pretty good. And as you can see, I almost have Hyper Repair, and Hawke is, not entirely close to getting his power, but kinda close. I mean, cruisers are alright against fighters, but I probably do need a bomber soon. So we destroy that. Do I have enough for... I do have enough for a bomber, so I will get one. Then we have that battlecopter there. And now I can kind of move in this fighter to, like, semi-lock down his airport. And I can't build anything else, literally. Like, there's nothing else I can build right now. So I am forced to save those funds. I like the way Black Hole copters sound when they're moving. Okay, you go in. I don't like the fact that you went on a reef, but still. I also don't like the fact that my copter can't hit you. Because again, see, here's the issue with Hawke. He likes to use expensive units, and that means that he gets his powers very, very quickly. At the very least, Hyper Repair mitigates the damage somewhat. But he's actually getting a little close to Black Storm for my liking. Oh, okay, Black Hole cruisers look really cool. I like the way they retract, like these. It does really say something, though, that this is the first time I've ever seen a Black Hole Cruiser actually attack something. I don't have enough for a bomber or a fighter, so I either have to go cruiser or I just go battlecopter spam, which, you know what, I'm just going to go for battlecopter spam. I don't like the fact that's going to be repaired, though. He doesn't quite have Black Wave yet, so he's probably not going to use his power this turn. Like he had that, like, Dark Lightning.
Are you prepared?
Oh, he is going for Black Wave.
Black Wave.
Huh, he was actually decently into his superpower section of the meter, so I wonder if he just noticed that he had some injured units and he really wanted to heal them. I guess I'm glad I saved Hyper Repair. And that's unfortunate. Is the cruiser going to kill the bomber now? It might. That would be a big loss for me. No, the bomber did barely survive. And with Andy, when there's life, there's hope. Because he can just recover things back up again with his powers. But that was a lot of damage to my bomber, which means that... I do have Hyper Upgrade. Great. That is going to really help. I wonder if... I'm... Wait, no, with the movement boost, I think I actually can finish him this turn.
Time for a tune-up.
And what a tune-up this is. It's finally time for Andy to show his true power.
Hyper Upgrade!
You swing that golden glowing wrench. But yeah, thanks to the boosted movement. Again, never underestimate +1 movement, because now this copter can actually reach his. Maybe Hawke made a mistake damaging my bomber. Oh, this fighter can actually reach that. Might not even need the bomber. And this fighter destroys this. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to hear a whole lot of Hawke's power mute theme, but it's still pretty good. But we'll get many more opportunities to hear that later. Just to demonstrate my point, I'm just gonna go, yep, cruisers, they suck. They take high damage from copters. They don't in Dual Strike, thankfully. They did fix that eventually, but still. Yep, that's over. So, this is not a particularly, like, you know, difficult or long mission, but it is interesting.
Quite impressive, Andy. Victory is yours.
Wow, they're even giving Hawke some unique voice lines for this. Yeah, it's quite novel fighting Hawke this early. And yes, Hawke is definitely going to pack up and get out, because we're not going to be seeing him again for a long time. And believe me, when we next meet, he's not going to hold back.
Commander!
Andy, what in the world are you doing? Why is there a war going on here? Maybe that was all a trap then. Well. Even when Andy has a big moment, he still gets screwed over.
Commander!
This actually just makes me feel really bad for Andy. I forgot how this mission ended.
I did what now?
Yeah, Andy messed up big time and he barely even realizes it. But hey, you know, that's a perfect S rank, and again, it's kind of cool being able to see Hawke for the first time. He doesn't look too happy about this, but yeah, it's kind of a taste of Hawke as a character. Even though he got kind of wrecked by us, he still won. It was part of his plan all along to lure Andy away from the front.
Hey there!
Yeah, now, weirdly, there is a collectible that you only unlock by beating See-For-All. I'm not sure what it is. I might actually go back to the shop just to check. Because this is one of the rare times we'll be seeing Hachi in challenge mode. Okay, so having completed all 3 of the second tier Orange Star missions, we now have access to the final mission of Orange Star that will liberate the continents. But we do have this one first. Yeah, Test of Time is totally optional. But as I said, I'm going to go and see if I can check out the shop. I was told that you unlock something from See-For-All, but I don't know what it is.
Hey there!
Oh yeah, this right here. I remember this conversation with Hachi in the original, and this is important because this is the only, tell in the game itself of this mechanic, that every time you use your CO power, it takes longer to build up the next time.
Come buy something!
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's the Hawke artwork. That's cool.
Good choice!
One thing I will say about the shop, I do wish there was a buy all option, because I don't like having to buy all of these maps one by one. I'm going to do this off camera,
What a day!
and I'll see you next time for the Orange Star Lab mission, Test of Time.